chords. Super chords. I want to show you one of the best things to noodle around with when you're learning to play by ear, which is chord voicings and super chords. Today we're just going to use this one scale shape to illustrate, but you can apply this to other scales and chords as well. See how these familiar chords are in the scale? If we build an extended chord the textbook way, we keep stacking thirds. And so we can get more notes and more colorful chord extensions. But eventually, by the time we get to a 13th chord, we actually have every note of the scale in the chord. And if we voice it like that, it actually sounds pretty good. A little dense maybe. Here's a different voicing where the notes are all just packed close together. This is obviously a little too thick for the average person to appreciate. But here's another voicing made of all fifths. The point is, it's all about the voicings, and we're allowed to try any notes in our chords. High notes, low notes, we can have a lot of notes or just a few, and we'll let the music theory nerds argue about the names. And it doesn't work that well to just try to memorize a million chord shapes and then in the heat of the moment think of, should I use a sus2 chord or an add 9? We'll start with isolated chords, and then we can start to change between them. Generally, the regular chord shapes are like the main notes that you'll have a tendency to settle on, but you can definitely embrace the idea of hanging on to some of the neighboring notes and trying to find interesting combinations. And so we'll start with E minor. We have the whole scale. And then the notes of the chords are all in there already. And so I'm just going to noodle around on each string at first and just figure out what I can do with those other notes. C, and all the notes of the scale are around it. Same thing for G. Start to work on changing between the chords, but I would recommend to start by just changing to the next one when you feel ready. And so take a moment to enjoy each one, don't count anything, and just change when you feel like it. Start to do it with more regular chord changes, and you can do it a million different ways, and so do it your way and just have fun.